want to go back and talk again about election integrity grants. Now, back in 2022, I worked with Senator Lisa Baker on legislation to eliminate the ability for counties to accept outside dark money from third-party entities for the administration of elections. Fortunately, the General Assembly and then Governor Wolf agreed with our efforts, and we had Senate Bill 982 signed into law as Act 88 of 2022, which you referenced in your response to the good gentleman from Bucks County. Now, part of that law includes, for each fiscal year, $45 million for the Election Integrity Grant Program. Can you describe how these dollars are being used by counties?
Yes, Senator. And while that isn't administered by the Pennsylvania Department of State and is administered by DCD, having visited the counties, having spent some time with them, it is abundantly clear what a benefit that has been to our county partners, especially when it comes to acquiring equipment to help sort ballots, timestamp them, open envelopes, and all the rest. It's helped make the process move a lot more quickly. And I think that's one reason why, since 2020, the amount of time that it takes to process a significant number of mail ballots, I think we all saw that decrease a lot from what that experience was in 2020, with more than a quarter of our counties having that equipment to help process mail ballots. I think gets us results more quickly and maintains the integrity of the process every step of the way.
Which is exactly what we intended to do. Would your department be able to provide the committee with a breakout by county and by use to show us how the counties are using that funding?
Well, it really, since DCED is administering it, it might be a better question for DCED. We do work very closely with them. So when they have questions, we obviously consult them on applications and all the rest, but it's really administered by a different department.
They'll be here and we can certainly follow up on that. Just one last question. Do you know if counties can re-grant the money to other entities like third-party entities? Have you heard of that occurring?
I have not heard about that occurring. The counties that I've visited with have spent it on equipment. They've spent it on making sure their poll workers are paid, other sort of like infrastructure improvements and all the rest.
So to your knowledge, no one has used it to pass it on to third-party entities?
Not to my knowledge. Do you mind if I ask Deputy Secretary Marks?
But spent it on the resources that we intended for it?
No, I am not aware of that. I've not heard of that. If there is an issue related to Act 88, it is that some counties have kind of used it to plug a hole in their budget. In other words, they've reduced the amount of county money they were spending and replaced it with the Act 88 monies. But I'm not aware of any issues where they're re-granting it.
Very good. Thank you very much. If I can turn briefly to permit tracking, something I've been pushing for a very long time is greater transparency in our professional licensure process. I've introduced legislation every session that would require your department to create a public-facing tracking mechanism to allow applicants who are seeking a license with your agency, as well as other state agencies, to view where their application is in real time. We pursued this idea as part of the state budget last session, but it was a bridge too far for the administration. So we're now seeing this being implemented now, it was mid-November, by the administration, the Fast Track Dashboard. Reviewing your budget request, there was an award to System Automation Corporation. Are they in charge of rolling out the dashboard within your agency?
System Automation, Senator, is the vendor that is responsible for the PALS modernization. So they're building the new licensing.
And how does PALS interact with the Fast Track Dashboard?
So the Fast Track system right now is a separate system from our licensing system. So that works independently of the licensing system that we currently use, and it's designed.
So what exactly is that $2 million additional cost being utilized for? we're trying to plug a big budget gap. So it would be helpful to understand how those two interact and how that money is actually being spent. And my time is up, but I appreciate your response here today. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.